How many rolls of toilet paper do you currently have right now?
This is 96 boxes of Kleenexes.
There he is.
Sorry, it took me a minute to. Where am I? How are you, buddy? Look at you.
I'm fantastic. Look at you. What's going on, my man?
Well, I did a Zoom yesterday with a bunch of kids it was my son's 7th birthday.
Yes.
And all his classmates were on. There was like a bunch of them, and they one at a time surprised him. We were in the same seat, and it was very exciting. He turned 7 yesterday. He looks a lot like you.
Yeah. I follow you on social media. I've seen some stuff. So yeah, I saw your little birthday shout out to him, and yeah, it's really interesting. I mean, like, okay, first off, Zoom is going to be the death of me. We did one, tried to do like a Zoom hangout with my whole family on Friday night. I wanted to throw the computer through the wall. So I appreciate you coming on. And just for a little introduction, this is Tom Arnold, actor, writer, host, comedian, investigative journalist for Roseanne Barr's ex. And he's also, probably my favorite thing about him is that he's an Iowa Hawkeye. And check it out. I wore the Iowa City shirt for you today for you.
I've got a lot of Iowa stuff up on the walls here. I should have, but it's in my heart. I'm a Hawkeye all over the place. I bleed it. I probably will bleed it before this is over. Just in general, probably on the chair. I don't even want to get into that, but I'm all about the Iowa. That's why when I met you, when I was passing through your town, anytime I hear somebody's a Hawkeye, I stop and I talk to them, and I just know between us that we're just better than other people. You know that.
I'm here for it.
And I can see that you're a young man and you're doing very well in your position there at the station. And then I saw some of your other work, and I was like, oh, this guy's going places. Of course he is. He went to the University of Iowa. and so it was easier when I heard you reached out about doing this thing during this downtime that everybody's down. And, I'm here. I'm a 61-year-old single dad with a 7-year-old son and a 4-year-old daughter. And believe me, we haven't been to school for 3 weeks. We have been, we've been quarantined here. And Dad's not, my line of work is we've been shut down, and the kids have been shut down here with Dad. And so I was like, well, that's a nice thing you're doing. I will do that with you. I trust you, and it'll be fun. And so here we are. It's nice.
I appreciate it. And it's, there's so much going on right now. And at least just from my followers, everyone is just craving something other than the craziness that's going on the news, and hopefully just get away from reality right now. So that's kind of what we're talking about. But I want to see what's your quarantine routine? I know that you just said you're a 61-year-old dad with some young kids running around. I mean, how crazy has life been here the past 3-4 weeks?
Well, number one, the kids and I just moved into a new house when this started. So we got very lucky because the movers got all of our stuff. I was afraid, when California, we've done a really good job here. My buddy Gavin Newsom has done a very good job with this state, and the mayor, Garcetti of Los Angeles, who got married in my house. I've had 4 wives. It's not just Roseanne. Let me clear this up.
Yeah.
My first ex-wife, but I've had many, and hopefully not anymore. But and I'm very grateful because I have my children. So however my life has gone to get to this point, I'm very happy about it. But I think you've done a very good job here. Are you in Ohio right now?
Yeah, in Ohio, Cleveland.
Your governor, who I know, has done a fantastic job.
He really has.
And I'm a Democrat. Your governor's a Republican. He's done an amazing job.
Yeah.
And he is a take charge guy. And it's really been about these governors taking charge of their states. And I, all due respect for Mike DeWine, that guy is really, he's taking good care of your state. Our guy is too. So we kind of knew, here's what it's going to be like. So I was like to the movers, get my stuff at least in front of my house, because they're going to start shutting things down. People say that it's social distancing, but it's really the opposite, because I've been having conversations with people from a distance that I never would have talked to before or gotten to. And so I made more friends since this thing happened, that good friends than I would have ever before. And I'll give you a quick example. There's an Iranian lady a couple doors down, an older lady, and she was walking out in front, and I'm in my front yard cleaning out my car, and so everybody's chatting now because we're all going through this together, and we're all a little bit lonely, and so she has a younger woman with her, and she starts chatting me up and asks me if I'm single. Of course I am, and the lady with her, she says, you could use her. And I was like, absolutely. And I said, because I do need a haircut. She was a beautician, and so we were talking the whole time. Like maybe I if there's possible, she could put some gloves on and cut my hair. And then towards the end of the conversation, I realized that the woman was a dietitian, and that the older lady thought I was fat. This whole conversation was framed.
Really took quite a turn there.
Like the whole conversation, like this whole time, the woman has thought I was fat. That's why she said I could use her friend. It wasn't complimentary, and so, but still, I've made friends with there's a lot of kids, and people are, in my life, people know who I am, but it's fun.
Every time I hear you talk, you love talking about Iowa and your roots and everything like that. I mean, that's definitely a part of you. Did you always want to do what you're doing now? Did you always want to be an actor, writer, comedian? Is that what you kind of knew when you were growing up in Iowa, that you wanted to move to Hollywood?
Well, I'll tell you something. Let me show you something here.
Yeah.
This guy here, I had a single father, and, I think about this a lot because when he was 22, my dad, I was 4, my sister was 3, my brother was 1. So that's a lot. Like I had the luxury of being, a little settled, and the only time we heard my dad really laugh was when there was a Bob Hope special on. And I said to my brother and sister, whatever that Bob Hope does, that's what I want to do when I grow up, because boy, he makes my dad laugh. So he's a comedian. So I wanted to be a comedian. I wanted to make my dad and the people in my hometown in Tumble laugh. And I said, if I could do that, man, I have made it. So one of the first things I did when I moved to Hollywood was do a Bob Hope special and meet Bob Hope. And so I was like, oh, I've accomplished everything I could ever. My goals are all done. And Bob Hope called my dad, and it was nice to him, and he sent this to my dad.
That is awesome.
And then I got to do a USO special with Bob Hope, and he was the nicest human being ever. And literally, this was 33, 34 years ago. I was like, I have no more goals because I just did everything, because that was, and my dad got to watch in the same house, the same living room, the same TV, watch me and Bob Hope do a sketch together and laugh the same way that he used to laugh at Bob Hope. I was like, that is a miracle. He's in Tumble, Iowa. I was a kid listening to him do that. And I said, I'm going to go to Hollywood and do that with Bob Hope and make my dad laugh like that. And I did that. So that is freaking magic.
Yeah.
I did that as a kid. I said, I'm going to go do that. So anything is possible in this world. And I knew as a kid, I'm going to go do that so my dad laughs. And I did that. So, everything else I knew, I knew I wanted to not work at the meatpacking plant for 50 years like my grandpa and stuff. I appreciated working there. I worked at Hormel for 3 years on the kill floor to save money to go to college, to the University of Iowa. I knew the University of Iowa was my way out. I knew that my life would change there. I went to Indian Hills Community College first. I knew that would change my life. The idea of going from being a factory worker to a student. I know that would just change my brain. That would change my way of thinking. I knew that was my way out. But when I got to Iowa City and that university, I mean, people looked different. They were, there were people from around the world. They just everybody looked the same in Tumwa, and everybody thought the same. And I was like, well, there's an opportunity here. And I knew they had a student union with a stage at the wheel room there. And I knew if I could get on stage and do stand-up, that all my friends would get super drunk and come and laugh. And maybe I'd get discovered, or something would happen, or I would make it happen. And when I was in Iowa City, it was like this Camelot time, because, we had, our football team was great. and our basketball team was great, and our wrestling team was great, and Hayden Fry was there, man, and we had, and you know, Dan Gable was there, of course, and we had the best. It was like everything was great. Of course, it was great, and we just had gone to the Final Four, and of course, I was going to make it in show business. Of course, I was going to be a star. Of course, I mean, everything just seemed like Iowa City, University of Iowa. Everything good was happening, and it just was that. And then I went from there, and somebody said, "Oh, we're going to give you a job in Minneapolis." They gave somebody at that place, and I went there, and I got it. It seemed like my confidence was way too high, but everything worked out. I just got incredibly lucky.
While you're there, I mean, like, what was like the big moment where you really got discovered, and was there ever a moment before that where you're like, I don't know if I'll ever make it? Was there a point where you almost gave up, when you almost went back to your hometown? Is there anything like that, or did it all kind of just go uphill?
It was very stupid. I was very overconfident. I think oh man, the first night I performed in Iowa City at the Student Union, my Uncle Bob, who still is amazing, I'm going to see him this summer, he filmed it. And I thought, I am killing it. It's so bad. Yes. It's like all my friends are there. Mo and all my buddies, who are still my buddies, and we drank Everclear Punch, which is Everclear and powdered Gatorade.
Been there.
Oh my God. But I had the confidence. I was like, I am gonna do it. But I also loved it.
Yeah.
You know, you have to love it when you're not good. You have to love it when it sucks and you're not paid, and you say, this is what I want to do. I love it. You have to love it. When I moved to Minneapolis, I had to sleep on people's couches and not get paid, and work at a sandwich shop and be a bouncer and do this other stuff to support this. And then I met Roseanne very soon after I moved to Minneapolis, and we hit it off. We performed together, and I wrote material for her. And then she went on Johnny Carson in 1985 and just killed. She was ahead of me. She was 7 years older than me, and I loved writing material for her character. And and then I wrote, and she got a TV show, and then I went out to write her TV show and produce it. And then this before we became a couple. And then, I just loved all of that. And I loved the opportunity to, I just wanted to be a stand-up comic. And then when I became a writer, I was like, well, I'm just going to be a writer. And then one day they're like, you should be on the show because you guys are dating, and people would be freaked out. A lot of people would watch that. And then,
yeah.
Did that. I started acting in movies. My first scene in a movie was with Dustin Hoffman in a movie called Hero, and it was like, Dustin Hoffman is a great actor. And it was these great, crazy, great opportunities, and with a lot of unbelievable people, and to go from the Roseanne show 6 years of working with the best people, and then to have my first real movie to be True Lies with James Cameron and Arnold Schwarzenegger and all these people, and to continue to have other opportunities, dramatic and comedic, and to be able to write and then do sports and have the sports show, and it's been a pretty incredible career, and now to be a father, which I'm glad I didn't do that first, and then. It's like pretty blessed, and then I want to do, a bunch more stuff. I have to, because I've had 4 ex-wives.
A little bit, I see that. But going back a little bit, I mean, like, when was like the moment where you were like, I'm famous, and it was like no coming back from that?
But I think becoming famous for being with somebody like that and being in that relationship, I had a different feeling about it, like. It was not pleasant. Like Roseanne hated it, and so it was always like, or she didn't enjoy the good things about it. So she was always like, sort of angry, and so I was, it was.
Did she feel like you're riding her coattails a little bit?
Well, I never cared what people said because she's my friend, and don't you want your friend? Then she was my wife, and don't you want them to succeed?
Yeah.
By the way, my wife was making $1 million a week. Not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, honestly.
And she also from day one, really, really thought I was funny. And that is like the best thing. And then I also got to be a stepfather. Like I was young, I was in my 20s, and my stepkids were teenagers. And, that was like something I really enjoyed. And I got to run her show. Like it was on me. So I had to learn a lot of things, but it was, it was fun. It was a great responsibility. I got to learn to do a lot of, things I love to do. I got to learn to act, to write, to produce. I got to work with a lot of incredible people. I had autonomy. I got to put a lot of Iowa in that show. Roseanne is from Utah. She is from Denver. She's not from the Midwest, and people always talk about the loose meat sandwiches, but there's a lot of, Iowa in that show. If you look at the Dan and Roseanne relationship, that's not based on her and her first husband. That's a very similar, the relationship to Roseanne and I. And although John Goodman is an amazing actor, Laurie Metcalf is, she had just brilliant people she worked with. Estelle Parsons, just brilliant actors. And, that the people that just brilliant writers and actors all the way around, producers, the kids, everybody, I just was lucky to work with them for 6 years. What a good education.
All right. Quarantine confessions, quick hitters here. What's the longest you've gone without showering during this time?
I go, honest to God, maybe 48 hours when the kids go to their moms for a day. And because my daughter, I'm going to be honest with you, my son, daughter, and I still sleep in the same bed. And my daughter, who's 4, will go, Dad, you didn't shower yet today, did you? I swear to God.
It's like a normal thing.
Yeah, I'll go to the shower at night. And they take baths. My son's a big boy. He's 110 pounds. He's in kindergarten. And they take baths. And if I forget, and it's truly forget, she'll go, Dad, you didn't shower today, did you? And I otherwise I do every day. I might have gone 60 hours, but and I don't want. There's sometimes I'm like, screw it. Now I'm just gonna sit there. I've gotten pretty far where I'm like, especially if the kids are on a weekend at their mom's, like I start going, and the housekeeper doesn't come, and I'm like, I start going down the tank. Let me tell you something, man. I can see me going down pretty fast, man.
That's incredible.
Just myself sitting here like, whoa. So yeah, but I can see how people I can start giving up on life pretty quick. Just in general, before the quarantine even. If that happens, I'm like, whoa.
That's incredible. All right, you have some good bathroom scenes in Soul Plane, Austin Powers. So on that note, how many rolls of toilet paper do you currently have right now? Because those things are like currency right now, my friend.
Let me tell you something, man. Let me see if this works. I'll tell you what I did. Man, you just can't. But yeah, my son he just abuses his toilet paper privileges. This kid gets in there with his iPad too. Man, I got to check every bathroom that he walks out of, no matter where we are. I tried to teach him. But here's what I did. Because Amazon said they're out. So I bought, this is 96 boxes of, look, I'm not kidding.
That's using your head right there.
These are Kleenexes in case the toilet paper, in case I know it's very selfish, but Kleenexes really are like nice. So just in case the toilet paper's run out, we have a lot of toilet paper. I bought the crappy toilet paper that you get at the high school and stuff like that, just in case. And look at this. Hey, I'll tell you something else is scary. My son, I tried to throw away my autobiography.
Yeah.
This is my son's desk here. He fetched these out of the trash. Yeah, so he has like 100 of them. This is my son, my kids. Oh, but look what they're making. I tried to throw all these things away to say, this is where my kids have their office. I
love the inside view into the Tom Arnold. This is the perfect part about this segment is that we really get an inside view.
Yeah. Look at that. I wrote that. Play is the highest form of research. Einstein. I wrote that on there for them. I I wrote some other things on there. This is their art. Got them all set up in here. This is their office. This is mine where nothing is. Look at the lights, just in case my skin tone, get to see if I have any Iowa stuff up there. A little bit of movie stuff.
Do you want to see my light setup? I have it currently sitting on a cooler, just like right behind me.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I like that. You're young. Oh, look at Arnold Schwarzenegger. There you go. Can you see that one there? I'll show you.
Oh, there you go.
There he is. There he is. Look how old he is. I'm younger. I still kick his ass. Anyway.
I love it.
All right. Well, that's a little. We have a lot of toilet paper if you need to borrow it. Hey, by the way, I was in college.
Yeah.
I lived with 5 other guys, and we didn't always have toilet paper. So, coffee filters, Doug's sock would work. That's what I mean to say, but don't tell anybody that. Anyway.
Fantastic. All right, Tom, I really appreciate you, my man. The time was awesome. Any charities that you want to plug right now, or where can we find you on social media?
Well, last weekend we did, last Saturday night we did Camp Del Corazon. You can look it up, campdelcorazon.org. That's my heart camp for kids. We had a thing online. You could look us up. We weren't able to have our big live gala last Saturday night. It's the biggest heart camp for kids with heart defects in America. It's our 25th year. We're going to do something this summer. I'll tell you that. We're doing something, and we raised a bunch of money last Saturday. We need a bunch more, but you can watch what we did last Saturday from this same location and other places. We're going to keep doing it, and check us out and check out what we do for kids. We never said no to a child. We pay for everything, and check us out.
What's the first thing you're going to do when this is all over?
You mean today?
No. Just when somewhat normal life is back, when quarantine's done.
Work, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not ever going to be over. It's not ever going to be like tomorrow. Okay, it's over, and exactly.
Yeah.
Right. But what are you doing? Are you still at the TV station?
This is where I'm broadcasting out of, right here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about that? Are they talking about the upping the quality? First, I was watching people do that. I was like, are they going to make the quality better of that?
For me, it's not that bad. I have a camera guy come every morning, and then he sets up, because sometimes I am out remote, like maybe once a week at this point. We're really trying to limit it, but we have a pretty nice system, and for me, it's not bad at all. So, and I mean, but we one of our anchors in the morning show, she's doing it all from her cell phone, and I mean, it's pretty good. It's fine.
What about my girl Holly? What's her situation up there?
Holly Strano's doing good. She's healthy. She's safe. She's actually in the studio right now, so I'll make sure to tell her you say hi.
She's a handful. She's a character, man.
Oh, she's great. Yeah, she's a lot of fun.
But I noticed the late night guys, because they're used to having anybody that has an audience, that's used to having an audience. It's going to take a minute, to get used to not having an audience. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I thought John Oliver did good. It just takes maybe me as a fan has to get used to them not having an audience,
I was watching Trevor Noah, and it doesn't hit the same if there's no. It's like it needs a laugh track, or something like that. I know it's funny, but you kind of need that, the energy of the crowd.
Yeah. I was thinking that same thing. Well, it's gonna be okay. It'll be something. We'll figure it out. And anyway. All right, man. Yeah, keep it up. Good talking to you. I'll talk to you later.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you. Have a good one.
All right, buddy. You too.
Go Hawks. Later.
Go Hawks, right. Yeah. Good. Thank you.